Welcome back to the ESPN HOOPS Hits podcast presented by Tab, and this is the final episode of the season, season 1. For sure, we're running it back next year. Shout out to ESPN, shout out to Tab.
Sure.
Grub, what a cracking year, mate.
Mate, I'd say we've had a good debut year.
Yep.
I would say we would get Rookie of the Year if there was a podcast Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
We'd be definitely thereabouts. We've had some highs, we had some lows, but that's the roller coaster.
It is the roller coaster. Great chemistry. That's the best way I'd put it.
It is.
Good banter. I've enjoyed it, mate. And like I said, I love my American sports.
Yep.
During our first season, your Eagles were able to get the job done. So I think it's only fair you give me the opportunity to get it in year 2 for the Packers. I think that's where we're at. I think I need some redemption in year 2 for my teams.
I hope so, mate. Well, I don't hope so, but yeah, look. You can be very positive and a good fan, but yes, mate, I've enjoyed being your Robin. I feel I'm the Robin in this relationship. So
ooh,
yeah,
I feel like it's a Batman Superman vibe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Equals.
Love that. Equality.
All right, and the part that I love about this is there's no LeBron James in this final episode.
None.
We've had enough of him.
Can I request one thing?
Okay, go.
Can I have just one more bit of LeBron hate for you?
Oh.
Just end. No, actually, at the end of the show.
Okay.
End on it.
All right, so we'll finish off with some LeBron hate. I feel like that's only right. We're going to talk about the series that's currently happening in the NBA Finals. The series is tied 1-1 after Indy, again, what the helly, Tyrese Halliburton did it again in Game 1. OKC Game 2, and now we're going to Indiana for 2 games. The NBA is talking about expanding, so we chucked the posts up to find out where we want potentially the 2 new teams for the NBA to be located. Despite no LeBron, we start with A-Rod, we finish with A-Rod. He finally signs with the Steelers. We're on my Packers. Jair Alexander has been released. That is a huge, I guess, he was a huge name a couple of years ago. He's been banged up for a while. I'll give you my thoughts on that and where I think he ends up. Mareb got the job done against O'Malley, as we predicted, and we'll make our final picks for the tab, pick 6. We'll have a look at the odds for the MVP of the series, and I think it's whether it depends on which way you're going is where you could be the value, right?
Correct.
So let's get to it. Let's kick it off with Left on Red. And the first one comes from Facebook, and it comes from Stephen Curry Manelli, Mr. MVP. So, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has 72 points in the first 2 games of the NBA Finals. That is the most points scored through the first 2 career finals. He surpasses AI, and I'm not talking about artificial intelligence. I'm talking about Allen Iverson. So, who would you rather? The question is, who would you rather build your franchise around, SGA or AI?
Well, I had an answer for artificial intelligence, so I don't know who now. That's what I was going with all day.
Well, let's hit up ChatGPT now and get another answer.
I'm going to say, though, to the first one, if he's scoring all these points and they lose, yes, absolutely be forgotten. No one cares about how many points you score.
Yeah, fair.
I'm not going to remember.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to say no one remembers the best player in a losing team minus Cherry Evans when he got the award in a losing team. That literally popped in my head, so I thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
But I'd rather AI. Allen Iverson. It's just, you know what it is, mate? Both ballers, like absolute. I love watching them both play, but I just love what AI was about. Off the field, swagger.
Yeah.
SGA, to me, it's just not my type of guy.
It's funny. Allen Iverson is one of those really polarizing players. His legend grew, I'd say, more after the fact as well. But he was the ultimate trendsetter. And that's what makes AI so cool as well. So even just aside from basketball, like the headband, the braids, the sleeved arm, like no one was doing that before AI. He started all that stuff. Yep. Plus, he's arguably got the best handles in the NBA ever. He gets compared often to Kyrie Irving, or Kyrie Irving gets compared to him. The control that he had, he was a bit of a solo artist. I've got a soft spot for him because when I first started getting into the NBA properly was the 2003 draft. It's why I hate LeBron so much, because I'm Carmelo Anthony. He was robbed of the Rookie of the Year, and Allen Iverson was at the Denver Nuggets at the time. So I, with biased, admitting biased, am on Allen Iverson.
Would you say Allen Iverson better handles, probably better distributor, but SGA better scorer, individual scorer?
I think probably SGA better passer, maybe team chemistry guy.
Yep.
For as good as AI was, I can't really remember a whole heap of people going off around him like consistently.
It's just
like Jalen Williams, like even Chet Holmgren chips in every now and again. Hartenstein's had some big games for him, so I just feel like when you watch the Oklahoma City Thunder and SGA, feel like they've just got a really strong team chemistry.
So they're the best.
Yeah.
For me, the best team I've seen in a long time. Like well-rounded team. We're just so used to, and we spoke about it a couple of episodes ago, the star power of the LeBrons, the Doncic, or Devin, all these guys being the guys. But this is the best well-rounded team, and that's why I think they're going to be hard to beat. Even though I cannot believe the Pacers again win game one. Like,
what about that?
These guys, they just must know how to show up on this game one, because it's actually so hard to do. No one else can do it.
Well, there was a stat.
They done every series.
Yeah, we talked. There was a stat about. We said we weren't going to talk LeBron. LeBron's got the most come from behind victories in a playoff series, and I think he had 13. But that's over the space of his entire career. The next best was Reggie Miller before Tyrese Halliburton on 5, and now Halliburton's got 5 because he's had one at every step of this playoff, including one last year. So that's like I think the number was maybe a minute and a half to take the lead and win the game, something crazy like that. And I know, with America, they've always got like a whole bunch of stats.
They got so much stats.
LeBron's by far ahead. He's got like more than double, but the span in which LeBron's done that with the longevity that he's had, he's put together already, even if they don't win, someone's already considering him one of the most clutch players in playoff history.
Unbelievable, isn't it? And we thought it was going to happen, but first two games, probably one of the least watched series in a long, long time.
Yeah.
But we thought that with the type of teams, but I also think it's a great series. It's neck and neck right now. I love it, but it's just like some people tune in to watch LeBron James.
Yeah.
Some people tune in to watch these players, and
even a guy like Anthony Edwards, like
he's got it.
Yeah.
He comes out, he makes statements, but what do you reckon, mate? Who's gonna actually take it out? Do you
want to hold off and we'll wait till we get the tab 6, and then we'll do our MVPs, and then we'll do the predictions from there.
Build
them up.
Kick the corners.
Teaser. Let's get to Aaron Rodgers, and this one comes from Facebook, and it's from Braden Pigeon. Won't even be in the playoffs. Facebook. There's another one from Simon Marshall. Super Bowl contenders. Bah ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. So, A-Rod, he lands at the Steelers. Can he turn around the Steelers? Is it the right move by the Steelers, or should they have gone with a young quarterback, a.k.a. currently on their roster, been on their roster twice, Mason of the Rudolph variety?
No. I think you got to get in someone. I'm not sure if I would have got in Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't like it already. He's held off for so long. They've been waiting for him. I just don't think him and Mikey T are going to gel. I feel Mike is hard-nosed.
Yeah.
Rodgers is not. Now, he used to be a little bit, but I just don't think they're gonna gel. The Steelers are a tough team, good defensive team. They've struggled in offense, but they're gritty. I would say that they're gutsy.
Yep.
But I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers suits that style at the moment anyway.
It's got a similar feel to it about the Jets. Like, he goes to the Jets, you got a good wide receiver that has the potential to be a really good wide receiver in DK Metcalf. Reminds you a little bit of Garrett Wilson. You got a really good defense that's probably underwhelmed with the quarterback situation, and they've had to play more snaps. You got TJ Watt, you've got Minka Fitzpatrick, you got all these players on defense. Cam Hayward. Reminds you of Quinnen Williams, reminds you of Sauce Gardner, reminds you of everything that was on the Jets defense. They were really good before he got there. Couple of good running backs now. They just got Jalen Warren's been there for a couple of years. They got the big guy out of I forget what. I think it might be Iowa or somewhere like that. Caleb Johnson. They got him in the third round. He's a big body running back. And then they got Kenneth Gainwell, your second,
That's
third
right, they
string
did too,
running back from the Philly Eagles. It's very similar to the Jets setup. The difference is I think he will mesh well with Mike Tomlin because Mike Tomlin is defense. Mike Tomlin is a motivator, and they've had a really good running battle, respectful relationship over the years.
Okay.
So there's been a number of times where, and the moments that stand out is Aaron Rodgers is renowned for his quick snaps while players are leaving the field, and Tomlin's done a couple of timeouts on him, and then they've got each other and they've had a bit of a wink. So I think it was important that Rodgers was going to somewhere to a coach that he respects, and then therefore, I don't think he's got the ability to walk over a guy like Mike Tomlin, like he did with Salah, who was only 2 years into his career at the Jets. I think that's the huge difference.
Walked all over him. But you're right, Mike Thompson, he won't let that happen, and I also understand why he would not want to lose his record.
Yeah.
He would not want to lose his record. He's no tanker. He's not tanking for the next quarterback. Rookies are meant to be better.
Yep.
That ain't him.
No.
So I think he tries to make a piece that could work this year and still bring in all of those hard-nosed tactics and culture that he's had for years.
Yep.
And hopefully he would know that this is going to be pulling a rabbit out of the hat, I think, if it works. Look, you got Rodgers, you got Metcalf. You just don't know. You don't know, but I just... Yeah, I think
even if he plays to the level that he played last year, which wasn't great to start with, but he got better as the season went on, he's still better than Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, who, by the way, they play week 1 against the Jets. So Justin Fields will get the opportunity for revenge against the Steelers. Rodgers, I think it was a part of his decision, was wanting to play the Jets, and then he plays the Packers in week 8 as well. So that's a must-watch.
Yeah, you'll be watching that one.
I'll be watching that one for sure. Speaking of the Packers, this is a picture of the Green Bay Packers secondary after Jair Alexander's release. And this one comes from, is it Fuller's Scolts or Sclots? Anyway, it's a good picture. By the way, that's the Charlotte Bobcats. No longer a franchise. They are now the Charlotte or New Orleans Hornets. Changed a couple of times. That's Tyson Chandler there, Raymond Felton, Rajah Bell. That's a random team. Is that Kwame Brown potentially as well?
It's a very random team, and I'm going to say Colts, whatever we're pronouncing that as, is having an absolute dig at you.
Yeah, big time.
Right there. Because that Bobcats team, I'm not sure how well they would have gone. So he's pretty much picking.
Well, they're no longer a franchise, so I think that's a good sign.
Well, does he say the Packers are gold?
No,
honestly, mate.
I understand where he's
how big's this? How big's this for you?
Yeah, this sucks because Jair Alexander was an all-pro player when healthy. He's been banged up for the last couple of years. He's got a very strong personality. I think the NFL is sort of leaning towards more defensive line zone defense. He's an out-and-out man-to-man corner. So what I mean by that is he wants to be on the best guy. He would often get frustrated when he wasn't given the opportunity to just follow Justin Jefferson around.
Yeah.
So we've got a different scheme. It doesn't suit what he's doing. We've got some young ascending players in the secondary. I like the way that both of our one we got with a high pick in the second or third round with Javon Bullard. He was a safety. Xavier McKinney is now the leader of our defense. We let Eric Stokes go. We've also got Evan Williams. He was a safety who was in contention for Defensive Rookie of the Year until he got injured. He was a find for us in the second. So I reckon we go to more of a zone defense, and it clears up cap space. I would love for us, and I think, how much do I talk about the rotation on the front four and getting after it, and that's why I think your Philly Eagles are so good. There's currently a guy called Trey Hendrickson who's frustrated with what's happening at the Bengals. He wants big money. We've got cap money. We've got cap space. I'd love for the Packers to go after him.
You reckon that it's looking nasty at the moment? It looks like he's not training. He's not going to. He said he won't go. He won't play.
Yeah.
So, and he could change a defense. He could make you an elite defense.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, your defense is very. It's not individualized, and is that what you're saying? Like, you don't think he suits it because he wants to be the man in it?
Yes.
He wants to take I want to be the man. I want him every week. No, but that's not our system anymore.
Yeah, it's not it. You want to play zone, and he wants to play man. So yeah, something had to give, and plus he was always banged up. The place where I think he lands, I think he goes back. He had a viral draft moment. We selected Jair Alexander at pick sort of 23. Famously, Lamar Jackson went with the final pick, his college teammate from Louisville. They got absolutely torched with their second DB away from Marlon Humphrey last year. I think he ends up at the Ravens. He teams back up with Lamar, and the Baltimore Ravens, they play more man coverage. They play one-on-one with Marlon Humphrey on the outside. I think Jair slots in there and he goes back to team up with Lamar.
Did I hear possibly Vikings as well?
Well, Vikings always sign ex-Packers.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
When you're off it.
Aaron Jones, he's gone there. It's going to escape me now. There are multiple players over the years that always Packers. No, they end up going to like the Lions and even some, less, not as much big names, but like obviously Brett Favre went to the Vikings as well. He's a huge name. They always end up going to the NFC North rivals for us for some reason.
Not happy with it.
Yeah, not happy. But I think he ends up at the Ravens, so it's not going to be an issue.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the UFC. Morobe dominates again. We predicted this. This one come from Instagram. Leandro Urbina, bantamweight GOAT. So, bantamweight, we're talking Mighty Mouse.
Yep.
Mighty Mouse considered one of the best fighters of all time. So, bantamweight, he's putting together a really good resume and he's dominating the division at the moment.
Yep.
But what else does he have to really do? Do you consider him? Is he in your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, he's there. He absolutely dominated O'Malley again. Had absolutely nothing.
O'Malley was supposed to be the guy about 5 years ago.
He was the guy.
He was supposed to take over from Connor.
But I've never seen.
I've never seen it as
this
well.
guy. Like he should be up for harassment because all he does is harass, and every single person that he fights against, I've watched a lot of press conferences. They always say he's just at you. So there obviously would be times in fights where both fighters are so tired, and it's like they give each other a moment, but then someone does something explosive.
There seems to be a common trend in the UFC of late, right? It's those guys with high cardio, relentless. They're not necessarily the best strikers. They're just always at you. Does it feel like all the fighters?
Duplessis.
Duplessis,
Volk,
Makhachev, like
they're just
the list goes on. They're just the fighters that stay in the grind, and they might not be the prettiest, but they're a little bit awkward, and they never give you a chance to get up, and they never give you a chance to breathe. It feels like that is where the UFC is going.
Well, you just have to watch O'Malley's interview after. He goes, I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but he just said he cannot believe it. Like, because he obviously, before the fight, he actually thought he was very confident. And I could tell O'Malley was confident. He's a carry-on. He carries on all the time. But I could tell he was actually confident in what he was going to do.
What were some of the things that you've seen that you're like, all right, like, is there a different, just the vibe, or was it body language?
I reckon I can look through a lot of people's confidence. I really can. And then I just know when they walk out too. Like, I just feel, but this, you could actually tell when he was talking. Like, I'm a weird, I look at people's mouths and eyes, and I can. So if I'm ever looking at your mouth and eyes, I'm looking.
Lucky we're not competing against each other.
Not anymore. Not that left edge of Manly, mate.
No wonder you always got it over us.
He hated me.
So I don't know about the best bantamweight of all time, but he's putting together a really good resume, and that only helps. Let's get to the stablemate. There are currently 30 NBA teams. There's talk of expansion to 32. We put a post up. Where would you like the NBA to expand? We've got a lot of similar messages were coming back. The first one's from Facebook, and it comes from Bailey Brown. Old school, he'd love to see Seattle back and Vancouver. Both have had franchises before, and it would be cool to have two Canadian teams again. And then we've also got one from Facebook, and it's from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. He is saying Vegas and Seattle, no question about it. So Vegas is really popular for obvious reasons. It would be a loose basketball. I know, like, we got the Raiders there and all that, but geez, that must be like a really tough place to live for younger players.
So hard. like constant choices you have to make. Every day there's a choice.
Yeah, there is.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like choices either.
I just like going home.
Yeah.
Keep me caged.
Because when I had choices at Le Catalan Dragons, I failed every time.
Le Catalan.
Le Catalan, we lived on the beach. We had beach bars across from where I used to live.
Yes.
And I always failed the test.
Red wine, trading. Red wine, trading.
Coffee, red wine. Coffee, red wine.
I'm going to throw a place out there. I would love one at Nashville.
Nashville's cool.
Yeah, somewhere in the South.
Have you been?
One of my favourite place.
Yep.
Favourite place in the States. People are just, they just love life there.
Yeah.
And I think the South loves sport.
Yeah.
Every time, anywhere I've been in the South, they love their sport. And I'm going Seattle as well. Give them a team back.
Yeah, the
They got
Supersonics,
stripped.
they're a
They got
vibe.
stripped. They're all fuming. All like a couple of my older mates there. They used to be Seattle fans. And not obviously still not happy. So give them one back and take it to Nash's. Wow, that strip.
Yep.
What's the street called? I forget, but one of the funnest nights of my life.
Sounds like a good street.
It's a strip. And honky tonks. You've ever been to a honky tonk?
Honky tonks. No.
Oh my God.
I went to Austin, and I imagine Austin, Texas is similar.
It's so Austin, Texas is like a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Whereas Nashville's a bit more like skinnier and just.
We were supposed to go about
street.
4 or 5 years ago, and the trip ended up getting cancelled for COVID.
Ooh.
COVID, yeah, we're supposed to go the COVID year to the States, and then it
It's
got
so
it got brushed, and we as a group we all got older, got misses, and that single crew no longer exists. So we never got to go to Nashville, Tennessee. All right, let's get to the Pick Six presented by Tab. We're going to look at the odds for the MVP. Obviously, SGA is favourite, currently $1.18. Tyrese Halliburton is pretty good value at $7.50. Pascal Siakam, he won Eastern Conference Player of the East, and he's at $17. And I'll tell you what, I know, if the Thunder do get it, just a little sprinkle, $5 on Jalen Williams at $41. He has the potential to go off if they manage to just shut down SGA in some way and make sure that he's not the one who scores. Then J-Dub can go off for a couple of 30-point games.
I just think if they shut down SGA, they lose.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And then I
That's
just
fair.
feel
Halliburton.
like Jalen Williams is unbelievable, but then I feel Halliburton. But I think SGA at $1.18 is a bit slim.
Yeah, very slim.
Very slim. Like the value's at Halliburton.
Yep.
Absolutely. So what a series, but like
I think it's going to go to 7. I said that.
You're on 7?
Yeah, I said it's going to go to 7. So
we both did, didn't we, at the start? I think a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought so too, yeah.
Grub, remember, with any of these plays that we've had throughout the year, for free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Mate, I have enjoyed the season so far. Favourite moment for the season? Do you have anything that sort of stands out?
No, it's pretty obvious. Just gonna fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly.
Has to be.
My favourite moment, and this is a call out to Shabs, it's actually a moment that we never aired.
I know exactly what you're going to
So
say.
sometimes there were sports where we're, not totally familiar with the UFC card. I did a little prank on you throughout the season. It actually didn't air. I wish it aired. It was such a good clip. We had some fun on this show. It took us forever to sort of rein it back in and actually get on with the episode, but that is by far my favourite moment of the
Love our UFC. Love it. That was awesome. Do we have a Mad Monday for Hoops and Hits?
Yeah, let's do it. Shabs, what are you up to? You ready to go? All right, that's it for this season. Hopefully we'll be back, and thank you for joining us this year.
Thanks, everyone.